This. Uh, boom. Bring you- If you ain't here, share the live. Share the live. We are on air with Rare tonight. We got a live interview with a legend. I'm so honored to share the same screen as this guy, PA legend. With no further ado, Coach John Allen. What's going on, Coach?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How's
Hold on,
everything?
hold
Thanks for
on,
having me.
hold on. We gotta give you that applause. We gotta give you that applause, Coach. What's going
Thanks for
on, Coach?
having
How
me,
you
man.
doing, man? What's going on tonight?
Oh man, we just got done practicing a little bit, a little workout. But I appreciate you having me, man. I'm always excited to talk about our team and the work our guys been putting in.
Oh man, absolutely. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, you were a player yourself, man. What inspired you to pursue a basketball career, and who were some of your biggest influence growing up?
My parents definitely. My parents definitely. My parents. My dad. My dad is from Philly, from South Philly, born and raised. And then some of my influences growing up was just guys from Coatesville. Right, early on it was Rick Hicks, Av Hogard, guys like that, and then later on it became Rip, Shaddy, Darryl Lewis. This guy's from Coatesville, man. But watching the NBA, I love Penny Hardaway and love Scottie Pippen growing up. And obviously everybody loved MJ. So those was guys that I followed, that I really liked, that I really enjoyed to watch, and always tried to model my game after them.
Now you seen the golden era of hoops that people say, the early '90s. Is MJ the GOAT or is it Brian? Because you got Brian fans, you got MJ fans, you even got Bean fans. Talk to me like who the GOAT? You seen them all.
Oh man, I gotta go MJ, man. You gotta go MJ. Like, you can't grow up in that era and then say somebody is better than MJ. We all seen him do things that no human being should ever be able to do. So I gotta go with MJ, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a LeBron stan. Like I think LeBron is the best ever. But let me say this though, I'm a realist too. MJ numbers are incredible, even with the year he played with the Wizards. Like for him to average that many points is ridiculous. Like I ain't gonna lie, like
Nah,
MJ is
Mike,
quote unquote the GOAT, but I'm a Bron fan.
you a little younger. Mike was just doing things when we was kids, man. We didn't have the internet, so the stuff we was seeing him do on TV live was incredible to us. We couldn't go back and watch it, and like, that stuff was incredible to us. So Mike will always be my GOAT, man. Nobody could be better than him. No matter the
And,
numbers, whatever. What LeBron is doing is incredible, but Mike is the GOAT, man.
and a lot of my old heads grind me up because they like, yo, like, how many pair of bronze you got? I'm like, I had one in my life. They like, how many mics? Like, I spent unlimited. I can't even count the amount of money I spent on mics. Like, I literally got over 200 pair of Jordans in my collection. Like, he the
Yeah,
goat for other
that's
reasons, but like, I'm a LeBron stan, so it kills me to say that, man. But
nah.
yo,
It's all love. It's all love,
so
man. Mike was our GOAT, man.
so you played at Coatesville where you coach at, and
Yep.
a lot of great players played there, including Rip Hamilton, NBA champion with the '04 Pistons. Was it the '04 Pistons?
Oh, 04. Yep. Yep. Won
But
championship in '99 with UConn.
a lot of people say John Allen is the GOAT of Coatesville High. Like I heard that from so many people. So I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Like how good of a player was Rip, and then what does that say about your career? With people actually saying that you are the GOAT from Coatesville. They saying high school career, they saying you the GOAT.
Yeah, no. So Rip will always be my goat, right? Because he my OG, right? And you know, I looked up to him and I tried to pattern my game after him, and I tried to mock him and everything that I did. So, you know, for me, I could never say get on here and say, yo, I was way better than Rip or anything like that, man. You know, we tried to be like Rip. You know what I'm saying? So I could never. The love and respect that he's shown me over the years, I could never get on here and say that I'm better than him. Also, Down Lewis was my guy, right? Is my guy. That is my guy. So watching him, Shaddy, everybody, if you was at any HBCU in the country in the 90s or early 2000s, you know who Down Lewis is, or anybody anywhere knows who Down Lewis is. So those are probably my two guys that I go to and I say, yo, those was the guys that really made me love Coatesville basketball. Um, but you know, we won the only state championship here at Coatesville, so a lot of people gonna say that, and it was a golden age, and you know, the internet and videos is just coming about, and I was in that era, right? I was in that era, and I was able to go out and take my game to Philly and learn from a lot of people down there and to play against a lot of people and compete. Omar Thomas was one from
Oh,
Philly that I remember that was kind of my age, but you know, go to Chester and play against Jameer. You know, they was a year older than me, but yeah, I guess, man, just because I've done it everywhere. Wherever I've gone, I've been able to get buckets. I've been able to, you know, hoop and compete and kind of do my thing. But the GOATs of Coatesville basketball are the guys who inspired me, and probably Shaddy and Rip is the two guys.
speaking of your legendary career at Coatesville, you wound up getting awarded a scholarship to Seton Hall, and you played at Seton Hall when the Big East was the Big East, where you had, Villanova, Syracuse, Georgetown, you name it. Marquette, was Marquette in the Big East then? You name it. It
Nah,
was like,
nah,
okay,
look,
not Marquette.
Marquette,
You had
man.
Syracuse, Georgetown, and
Miami was good. Miami
can
was
you,
good. John Salmons, I
okay,
played against
Miami.
him one year.
What was it like playing in the Big East when the Big East was the Big East? And could you name a few players that you played against while you were there?
Man, it was heavy hitters every night, man. When I was there 4 years. 2 of those years, the national champion came from the Big East. One year was Syracuse with Carmelo, and another year was
Mm,
UConn with Ben Gordon and Emeka Okafor. It was 1-3 in the draft. So that just gives you that just tell you how tough it was right there. But you also had Pitt with Brandon Knight, Julius Page, Chevy Troutman. Those dudes was tough, man. Marcus Hatton at Syracuse. I know I'm missing guys. Darius Miles, like I said, John Salmons.
mm.
They was in the Big East at the time. Georgetown had Mike Sweeney. He was a lottery pick. Um, Providence had Ryan Gomes, Marcus Dowdett. They had some dudes, man. It was
Loaded.
wars, and that's not even, you know, at that time. My sophomore year, Jay Wright's first year.
Okay.
So they, you know, like Randy Foy and those guys was young. Kurt Sumner, they was young, and they was coming. They was ready and they was coming. So every night in the Big East, man, it was somebody, and a lot of pros came out that league. I played against a lot of pros, but probably the best person I played against, no surprise, was Ben Gordon, man. He was
He
he
was
was
a
a he
bucket.
was he,
Definitely
he was he was a problem, man. Every time I could defend. I was good. I was a good defender in college, and I can kind of get everybody's rhythm, um, you know, in college, but I could never get his rhythm, and he always let me know about it.
no, Ben Gordon definitely was different. For the young cats who don't know, do your homework. Ben Gordon was a bucket.
Yeah,
Now,
that's a fact.
speaking of speaking of how tough the Big East was, could you tell us about a particular challenging game or moment in your career where you had to overcome it?
Oh man, I remember playing against Arizona in the tournament. They had Iguodala at the time, Channing Frye, um, and being down like 20 at
You naming all
halftime.
NBA pros, by the way. Go ahead. We listen. Big East was loaded.
Yeah, for sure. They was at Arizona. Mustafa Shakur was on that team from Philly,
Yep,
um,
yep.
but we played against them in the tournament, and it was a late night game, man. It was like 10 o'clock. So you know, for them, that's like 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So they was ready. They was running and gunning, and we was down 19 at halftime, man. And I had to play the four that night, and we was just grinding, man. We grinded out, and we grinded out a win. We grinded out a win.
Mm. Now,
Yeah.
back then, the Big East tournament was still in Madison Square Garden, right?
The Big East tournament was at the
How
Guard,
was
man. It
that?
was
You know, the Big Apple. How was it? Because I remember watching those games. I know, like in my high school time, I think it was I want to say Syracuse and who wins? What was it? 6 overtimes? I know you weren't playing that.
Oh,
You probably were
that
watching
was
this.
a little
Was it
before. I think
Syracuse?
that was UConn. It was either Pitt or
UConn and
UConn.
Syracuse?
Yeah, I think it was Pitt or
Might have been
UConn. I can't
McNamara.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Pitt. It was either Pitt or UConn. That was a little after me.
Yeah, that's
I
after.
think.
That's after.
Yeah,
But
but
speak about those Madison Square Garden moments, man.
yeah, when I was there, like when I was playing, you had like Hov showing up to the games. I guess he was still
Mm.
living in New York, and New York was hot. You know what I'm saying? You had Rough Riders coming to the game. You had the Locks coming to the game. Hove was there. Everybody stopping. You looking at Hove, and the celebrities that came out to the Big East tournament. Um, it was it was mind blowing, man. You look over and you seeing these dudes, and you listening to their music before the game, and then you see them on the sideline. You like, okay,
Yeah,
this is
doing.
big time. This
Yeah.
ready. We ready. We got to go now. We got to go.
How did you used to prepare physically and mentally for the big games?
Um, College it was a little different. I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So college, I was just going out and trying to get buckets. No stretch, no nothing. Once
Mm.
I played 7 years overseas. And once you get over there, man, it's a grind, man. Everybody overseas know it's a grind, man. You got to take care of your body yourself. You got to tape your ankles yourself from time. You got to. It's just different things you got to do by yourself. And so I was stretching. I was doing a lot of stretching. A lot of like mental preparation, a lot of you wake up and you stretch. It's like once you get older in basketball, man, stuff start to
Yeah,
hurt that you don't even know you didn't
yeah.
even know existed. So you really had to take care of yourself over there, and that's kind of where I learned to take care of my body and take care of myself and kind of do the right thing.
All right, enough of the goat talk. Enough of the goat talk. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. It's a big year up there in Coatesville, man. You
Yes,
got a
sir.
lot going on. How you feel about this upcoming season?
Well, first of all, it's always a big year in Coatesville.
Mm.
There's not a year when there's not a big year for us. I feel great though. My guys been working hard, man. We've been working hard. We've been putting in work, and we've been, we haven't gotten a lot of rare videos this year. So
They
so
coming. They coming soon.
we've been
They on the
putting a
show.
lot of work in the dark, and that's how we prefer it. And when I remember you posted something last year to say like Roman, they always hide and then they pop out and they the best team. I like that. I like that approach. So our guys have been working and they've been putting in a lot of work. So I'm super excited about that.
Speaking of your guys putting in work, you got 5 guys, that I took note of on your roster. Could you speak a little bit on Jonas Chester, Chris Allegra, and Jalil Thetford?
Yeah, so all of them played last year, right? They all made the run with us. They all played last year, and those guys they're gonna be counted on even more. We also got my cousin Jamal Williams is another one. Like they all gonna be counted on a lot this year to kind of give us an extra boost and to do a little bit more. Like there was a game in the summer during Philly Live when Chris had 20 against Roman. You know what I mean? And he kind of kept us in it and kept us going. So we gonna count on those guys and we gonna lean on those guys in a big way. And they don't have a lot of experience in the limelight, but they've been putting in work, and I'm excited about the work they've been putting in.
How about the big fella, man? I'm so proud of that kid, man. He got so much better over the
That's a
years.
fact.
Larry Brown, when I first seen him, it was more outside in. Now he like getting to it inside, which opening up his outside game. How, how big of a leap did Larry Brown make?
Well, I think that he focused on basketball, right? I think for him it was kind of like, you know, when you play as a freshman here, it's a lot of noise, a lot of people telling you what you should do, how you should be doing this and what you should be doing. And I think that once the noise kind of settled down for him, man, he started putting in so much work. Physically, his body got bigger. He started lifting a little bit more. And I'm so proud of him too, man. That's my guy. It's been since he was 8 years old, we've been rocking together. So I'm super proud of him. He coming along, and again, he gonna pop out when it's time to pop out. He gonna pop out, and we gonna go to him. and in years past, we probably haven't gone to him down the stretch, and we haven't run a lot of things for him. And I'm looking forward to drawing up some stuff and running some things for
All right, that's it with the roster. We can move on. Nobody. Oh, psych. No, the 6'9" Don,
him.
the
Yeah,
6'9" Don, the
is
best
that what we're
player in the
going with? Six
country
nine, six
of
nine.
his class. I like calling him the 6'9" Don. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
The
Okay.
smooth criminal, sharpshooter, Colton
Okay.
Hiller. How good is Colton Hiller, and what is it like coaching a player of that caliber?
I think he's the best player in his class. Let's just get that out the way. I think he's the best player in his class. I think a lot of people are. We align with that, right? We align with that, no matter what the rankings say. When you look at him and you look at the summer he's had and the way that he's been playing, I think he's the best player in the class. And if you ask any coach who's had a top five player or a guy you could just give the ball to and he can go get it, he make life a lot easier. Make
I
life a
agree,
lot
man.
easier for you, man. And so I think for me, having a player like that is, I've coached high level AAU before. It kind of, it reminds me of that, like having a guy where we can just run things to, and he can make a bad play look good, and all these things that go along with it. But super excited to have him, and I'm super excited about his development, man. He 15-year-old kid, man. He's been able to handle a lot of the hype
That's
and
the
still
beauty
put
of it.
in
He's
work.
a young star. Like it's
Yep.
there. Like it's no smoke and mirrors. You got a
Yep.
kid that young. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your knowledge. I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to
no,
cut you
no.
off.
He just been able to put in the work, man. He been able to put in the work and block out the noise, and really, he stuck with us. He Coatesville through and through. So I'm really proud of him, but really proud to coach him also.
You lost to a tough Conestoga team last year in the district, which was
Yep.
an upset in my eyes. How do you prevent falling short again this year?
Yeah, so give credit to them, man. They came in and they beat us. So I give them a lot of credit. But we just gotta keep working. We gotta keep working, man. We ain't going backwards. We going forward. Um, we know what it takes to get there. We know what it takes to get over the hump. We know where we fell short. We watched the video a bunch of times, so we know where we fell short. We know what we have to do to get over that hump. And really, for us, it's no excuses. There's no excuses. Everything is out there for us, and we want to take it.
Now, state championship, league championship, and district championship. Is that the goal this year?
Yo, we want it all, man. We want it all. We want it all. We want to play against the toughest teams. We want to be in a conversation when on the air with Rare. We want to be in a conversation when he having a conversation. We want to be in that top 25. We want all the smoke from everybody, and we ain't really, since I've been here. Not before I was here. We've never ducked any smoke. We want all the smoke. We want the bullseye on our back. But we know that we got to put in work to be on that level. So, with that title, with that prestige comes a lot, and we working hard to make sure that what happened last year don't happen again.
Now, in a perfect world for me, I talked to you all summer about this and some of the fall. The district championship 6A. In a perfect world, I got PW versus Coatesville for it all. Let's just say that happened hypothetically. We got a long season. It's still the preseason. PW Coatesville meet in the District 1 6A championship. Who
Yep.
wins the game?
You
You want
tell
me to start
me.
with my
You
pick?
tell. Yeah. You start. Let me hear what you got to say.
Hey, listen,
Yeah. You tell me.
it wouldn't be right. I wouldn't be rare if I don't keep it a bean.
Give
Coatesville.
it.
I normally pick the team with the better player if it's a close game. This is a close game. If I pick the team with the best player on the floor, is Coatesville, right?
Yep.
I got PW in the close one. I got P. Listen, I got PW in a thriller, in a double overtime thriller. I got.
Oh
Hey,
my
look,
God! Wait till I tell my boys
look,
this,
listen.
man.
Look, I'm going down. I'm going with Big Mike Monty. Then you got Hiller, who's the best player in the game. You got Larry Brown. It's a toss up. It's a toss up.
Nah, no. Don't go back. Don't go back. Nah,
Look,
nah.
I
Don't go
love
back.
Coatesville,
Don't go
but
back.
is I
Don't go
can't.
back.
I'm going with PW in a double overtime thriller. Double
Okay.
overtime thriller. But if
All right.
Coatesville win, I'm not surprised.
Nah. Don't do that. You can't pick us both. Nah, you got to go with that.
No,
Um,
all jokes aside, I hope both of you guys make it. That is the game I want to see. Shout out to all the District 1 618s, but that is the matchup I want to see. Y'all got the best 4 players on the court if we can get that matchup, man. But hey,
play
John,
them.
man,
We play them.
hmm?
We play them. We play them in the regular season
Ooh,
at
where that whoa,
PW.
whoa. At
At
PW?
PW, I think
Oh, they
it's
gonna get y'all
January 10th.
twice.
I love it. I love
No,
it.
I'm
I
marking my
love it.
calendar. I'm gonna be there. January
I
10th,
love it.
I'll be there. They,
Yep. January
they got
10th. And you,
I respect both of y'all for taking that matchup. Y'all trying to match size each other up because like I don't understand that matchup because that is definitely the 2 favorites to make it there. So that should
nah,
be a sold out venue.
don't talk yourself out of that pick either, man. Don't talk yourself out of that pick.
Look,
Yo,
I did
keep
you a
that
favor because
same energy.
like we talk. I just put the target on PW back for sure, for sure.
That's a fact.
Hey
That's a
John,
fact.
I appreciate you for being on air with Rare. I don't want to hold you up all night.
Nah,
I
appreciate
respect
you.
what you got going on up there. I'm a huge fan of what you're doing, and I hope Coach will have a great season. And when I hope they win all 3, man, it'd be a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate you, John, for being on air,
Hey
man.
man, likewise, and I appreciate the platform, man. I appreciate the platform and everything you're doing for everybody out there. And I love to come on. I come on anytime, man, and talk hoops with you. So I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you're doing on the boys and girls side. Real
Appreciate you, John.
talk.
Before I let you go, I'm gonna put you on the spot. The next time I see you, if you in Coatesville, do you got like a T-shirt or a hoodie for me? Something that say Coatesville?
Yo, of course. Come on, man. I
So a
got you, but
T-shirt,
you
hoodie.
got to
It could
give
be a
me some.
little towel,
You got to
something.
give me something with rare on it. I need something with rare on it,
Oh,
man,
that's
so I can
done. That's
rock.
done. I'm gonna have a whole
I,
care package for you.
not just the socks either. Like something I can
No,
really
I'm gonna give
rock
you the
with
whole
rare on.
package. You gonna get the whole package, the hoodies, the sweaters, all of that.
That's a fact. I got you. I appreciate you, man. It's
Appreciate you,
all
my
love.
guy. I appreciate
Uh,
you, man. Thanks for tapping in, John.
no problem. Thank you.
That was John Allen from Coatesville. Shout out to my guy. He's a legend for all the young guys who didn't know. Coatesville legend. You know, Rip Hamilton played there. A lot of great guys, but legend has it, John Allen was the best player to ever play at Coatesville. He's the man, the myth, the legend. I wouldn't lie to you, young folk. When I was younger, I used to listen to the old heads, all they just talking. John was a guy. So shout out to Coatesville. Now, Chris Roantree, I'm looking for you. Chris Roantree, you can't duck this hot seat. Chris Roundtree, I'm looking for you. Chris said 2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes to get Father Judge head coach in the building. I got a lot to ask him. I'm not ducking no questions. All questions must be answered when you on air with Rare. We not ducking no questions. See, share the live stream. Chris Roundtree will be on in 2 minutes. Share the live stream. I'm not gonna lie. The PCL gonna be crazy this season. I'm super excited. It's about 5 teams that got a realistic shot at winning the PCL. I'm not gonna name them just yet because it's still a preseason, but from looking at the teams that I've seen already, it's about 5 teams that got a realistic shot, and then the rest should just go out there, have fun, compete, and leave it all out there. But it's literally about 5 teams. Uh oh, he in the building. He in the building. Hold on. The guy with all the aura. Hold on. He in the building. Hey, when you see this guy, he got the most aura. Anybody in the state of PA, I'm going to say that now. You could just see him shining and glowing. With no further ado, Father Judge, head coach. Chris, what's going on, good brother?
What's up, Rare? How are you?
All is well, man. I appreciate you for being on air with Rare, man. How you feeling, man? You coming off a historic season up in the Northeast, winning the Catholic League, winning the state championship. How was that for you and your family? And how many nights did you party in Wildwood? Talk to me. They said Wildwood all summer was blue and red. I don't know that for sure.
I've heard that. I've heard that from a couple people. Wildwood's a big judge town. We have our reunion there every year, and they get over almost 2,000 people down there on a weekend. So it's great to be a part of that. But I think for us, it's just it's 4 years of building it, right? And it's the reward of building for 4 years and the hard work that, the coaching staff, but more importantly, the players put into those 4 years to get where we were. And we always talk about when we first got here, everybody's a part of it. It doesn't matter, what your record was when you left as a senior, like you're a part of building something here. And that's what we wanted it to be about. And it was great, for our players to get our former players, texting them right away after we won a championship, and for our wives to be a part of it, our kids to be a part of it. We treated it as a big family, and it was a great night when we won the PCL, and but we didn't get much time to celebrate because 4 days later we had to turn around and play Emotep in the city playoffs. So it was one night, and get a day off and get back to work, and from there. But we've enjoyed it, but it's now it's time for us to get back to work. It's been time for us to get back to work. It's a new team, and we're looking forward to another season this year.
What were some of the key factors that contribute to some of your team's success last season in the Catholic League?
Yeah, I think one of the things we talked about all year, or kind of one of our mottos, was team success will drive individual success, and I think that's such a key component. Like, guys that get MVP, or Kavere ends up getting every area player of the year in city, but that was because of our team success, not just his individual success. And everybody had a chance to be successful. Kev Beck went to college. Kavere and Everett, playing D1 now. So, all of that success, and it was about winning all year. And that's really all we talked about was, we got to the Palestra the year before. We left with a sour taste in our mouth because we were happy to be there, and we wanted to build upon that. And, I think those guys really took that to heart, and their hard work and the effort in the all season. But we had a really close group. I think, from freshmen all the way up to seniors, they got along. They did a lot of different things together. They were great in the strength program. So I just think, just building our culture over 4 years, and Kavere was a big driver of that culture, but everybody bought into what we wanted to do. And that led to a really successful season for us.
I'm gonna be honest, man. The way you guys looked in June, no Kavere, no problem. You guys rolled through June this summer. What does that says about the culture you're building at Judd?
I think it says, we didn't want to just do this for 1 year, right? We wanted to continue to build, and you look at programs in our league, the Newmans and the Romans of the world, and Wood has been successful with 2 championships over the past 10 years or so. But we wanted to build this to be up there. Do I got you? Did I lose you?
Chris, you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening. My fault.
No, all good. We wanted to try and build this as a program. It wasn't just a team, and sustainable. We've consistently had young guys coming through the program now over, going into our 5th year, and have success in development, and guys growing and getting better from there. And we want to continue that. We don't want to be here for 1 year. We want to keep it going. And I think we have a culture set now. We have a standard in our building of, the championship is the standard. And we said that from day one since we went in there, and people might not have believed it, but I think now that we've done it, it's how do you do it again? But, we haven't talked about repeating. We've talked about this is a new team. And what is your guys' legacy going to be coming out of here as seniors, and those guys, underneath us from there.
Now, what challenges do you anticipate facing this upcoming season?
Look, I think, I guess, I've heard people say, how do you handle being the hunted? I think going into last year, people were talking about us, but maybe not as much as they are this year. So I think we have to handle that. We're going to play a little bit, not much differently, but, we don't have Kavere as a driver to our offense. So we have to figure some things out with there. But, we got some guys back to play some really high quality minutes for us that we're excited about. Our 3 seniors in our rotation all are committed now and going to college. So we got that out of the way, and we can kind of focus on getting better. But how do we get up to play every single night, knowing that we might not win every night? Our league is a challenge. I probably, I kid around with some people and say I might have overscheduled this year, or our schedule is not easy at all. But all of that's going to prepare us to get ready for, January 2nd, our first PCL game. And the goal is not to be great in December or even January, but the goal is for us to be, great in February and March, and give us an opportunity to hopefully have another chance to win another title.
Mm. How important is team chemistry and leadership in achieving back-to-back titles in the Catholic League?
Yeah, I mean, chemistry is it's really important. You have to have guys that want to play for each other and with each other, right? And that's really important. It's if you just have one superstar, it's with the coaching, on our schedule in our league, even in anywhere, you can game plan around that, right? So you really have to be wanting to play for each other in there, and that's a huge thing. I think leadership is really, it's not something that's, you just don't learn it overnight. So we got guys, hopefully that'll step up into a leadership role. Rocco was a captain last year for us. From there, Amir was a captain 2 years ago for us as well. And really, we let our players vote on our captain. So, you have to want to stand up and be a captain and take that responsibility on for us. We rely on our captains a lot for leadership. If we're pushing too hard, if we're not pushing hard enough, they have a voice, and they lead a program from the player's perspective, and that leadership is going to be important, because again, it's going to be challenging. There's going to be ups and downs in our season this year, not just in our out of league schedule, but in league, and we had that last year. I think a lot of people jumped off the rouse from us, when we lost to Carroll and Devin and Bonner. Maybe, in everybody's eyes, we shouldn't have lost to them, but, it was a wake-up call for us. And every time we lost, we responded. And when we lost the last game, I think it was to Carroll, we said the last time we lost, we went on a 5-game winning streak. And if we can go on a 5-game winning streak, that means we're cutting nets down at the Palestra.
Shout out to my guys at Carroll, but that was
right?
that was a bad loss for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
the whole world, they took that. Oh my God. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, that one. But like you said, it's tough every night in the Catholic League.
Yeah. So
you got about literally 10 or 12 guys that actually play like anywhere in the city on this roster, man. But talk about Temple commit Derek Morton Rivera, Merrimack commit Rocco Westfield, and most recent commit to Iona, Max Mashinsky. Talk about those 3 real quick. How good are those guys, and what do they mean to your program?
They're all 3 seniors, right? They've been through wars for 4 years, and I would be remiss not to mention Nas Tyler with those 3 guys in the returners. I think Nas gets lost a little bit in the fact that, he's been a 2-year starter. He started since he was a freshman here, and has been part of this. But, those 3 guys are really important to us. Mir's got an opportunity this year, and again, we talk about legacy. We talked about that with Kavere last year a lot. Like, hey, you got a chance to be the best player to ever walk out of this school, but you have to win. And Mir's got that same thing for him this year. To take that from Kavere, we have to win. But he's got a chance to come out as the all-time leading scorer. It would be shocking probably if he didn't come out, the school's all-time leading scorer. So he's been, really important. But he's worked really hard. He's developed his game. He's worked hard in the weight room. I think every year he's gotten better. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I think he had a really good June for us in terms of being a 3-level scorer, which he really wasn't at times. And people, said he was only a shooter. So I think, that was important for us in June. Rocco for us is going to be one of our leaders. He was a guy that wasn't starting last year, never said boo about not starting. When he got an opportunity, just took advantage of an opportunity, ended up being an all-Catholic for us from there, and, kudos to Merrimack and Joey getting another underrated guy out of Philly. But they watched him 30 times last year and just absolutely loved him. And, he had the opportunity to go to Merrimack, but he's going to be important. I hear you guys. Can he be a point guard for us?
I listen.
Listen,
Not
I
only
hear
me, but everybody. I gotta see it to believe it. He's a hell of a player.
here, but hey, he had a really good May and June, and
Yeah.
we put him on the ball, but we're not going to be the same team in terms of what we did last year with Caver. So it's not going to be a dominant guy on the ball, and we have a lot of different guys that can handle the ball. But I think in May and June, one thing he proved to us is he can be our point guard. We played high-level teams when you talk about the Matha and Paul
Yep.
VI and
Yep.
Notre Dame, and they all put pressure on him, and he handled the pressure. He had limited turnovers, which is what we need him to do. But we're going to have a chance to take him off the ball. And again, I hear you guys, Corey's a freshman, but we think he's going to be ready to play for us from there. So, and Max is, outside of Latif from Tech, I think Max had the biggest stock rise of anybody in June between those two
100%.
guys. He had 7, 8 offers that he had a chance to commit to. They all wanted him. He fell in love with Iona when he went there on a visit. But again, he's just touching, scratching the surface still from there. So I think, now that he's done his visits and all of that, it's a chance for him to be back in the gym and really get better, in this next 8 weeks before we start season from there. But really versatile, can handle the ball for us if we need to. If we want to go small, he can play the big spot for us. He's shooting the ball better for us. He obviously is a super athlete that nobody really expects, and he can defend 1 through 5 from there. So they're going to be really important for us. They're going to play a whole heck of a lot of minutes from the expectation, and Nas as well. I think, again, Nas played 20 plus minutes for us last year, and he's going to have to step up again for us this year from there, and was really key for us. So we're excited about those 4 guys. We do have we think we have a lot of talent in the building. It's a good thing and a bad thing, trying to figure out how it all fits into the puzzle. But guys are going to earn their opportunity. And we talk about that all the time. It's great for practice. It's great for the competitiveness in the gym. But guys are going to have to earn their opportunity, because I don't know a coach that wants to play 10 guys and be in a rhythm. So, we're going to have to figure out pretty quick, what our top 8 looks like, or top 7, or 8, and figure it out, and guys can continue to earn playing time. I think that's going to be the great thing. And you look at us last year when we played Tech the first time, Max played 28 minutes in that game. And he got hurt when we went out to San Diego. Other guys stepped up. So, with guys are going to have to step up. It's going to be a different guy's night, maybe on different nights, but they just got to get better. But we're excited about the guys in our gym. We're excited about the talent that we have, both young and old. I think, we hopefully have the ability to kind of keep this rolling as a program with some of the talent that we have in our gym, and that's the goal.
I agree. I mean, I think you got some of, if not the best talent in the city. For us, talent-wise, you have players in there. I just left one of you guys' workouts the other day, and you got, like I said, I put up a poll who got the best wings in the city. Is it your school, another school, or Buffalo Wild Wings? And you guys were like the clear winner, man. I mean, you got arguably the 4 best additions in the offseason, and you got 6'7" wing Rajon Harris, who got an offer from Syracuse, who could shoot it lights out. You got 2 of the best freshmen, if not the best 2 freshmen in the area, and Corey Copeland and Amir Brown. And then you found a way to add a 7-1 player, Jamal Hamadou. How good are those 4 players for your team? Like, what are they going to do this year?
Yeah,
what are you expecting?
They give us depth, right? And I think that's important. I think, when you talk about last year's team, we played 7. Rocky was our 8th guy last year at times. That when we needed him, he played for us. I think our depth was really good last year with 7, right? And I think that gave us an advantage at times. Like, we could get guys off the court and get them a break and not have a drop off. And Kev Beck was really important to that. Max was really important to that. So I think that provides the opportunity. But what they really do, it gives us an opportunity to fit different pieces in different ways. I think, one of the things we did in June was we played small in June at times. And, Corey and Amir gave us really good minutes in June. Ray gave us really good minutes just coming over in June. So again, they got to get up to speed on kind of what we're doing, and that's what we're working on right now. I think the talent level is there. I think Jeremiah DG is another guy that can give us some minutes. He played in June. He started for us in June as well. So, we have different ways that we can play, and we got to figure out what's going to work best for us. For us, the good thing is if we do want to go small, in our league, I'm not saying that there's not a bunch of big guys, but you don't have a Sharif that you're dealing with or a Thomas Sorber, where maybe we can play small and play 5 out. Or at times, if we want a really good rim protector, we can play with Jamal and Jeremiah in there as well. So we're going to have to figure that out as a coaching staff. It's going to be a challenge for us to, again, keep everybody happy, but we got to win games, and hopefully winning cures all when it comes to that, and being a part of the program and the opportunities. Because I do point to a guy like Max Mashinsky that, hey, he didn't start for us at the end of last year, and he's going to Iona, a high level. That's a basketball school. And he's had some basketball schools after him, and that patience paid off. And today's world, I just said this
right away. They do not remember your freshman year, young fellas.
Yeah, I said this, Josh Berlin today is doing an interview on Max, and I said it, and I heard Andre the other day on yours is like, hey, it's easy to run, and it's not easy to do the hard thing, and guys want that instant gratification, and Max was a guy that it paid off for. Hey, I just want to develop and get better, and that's what he did over 4 years, and he had a super summer, and I'm super happy for him and his family from there. But I think guys like that, so hopefully guys are bought in, and from there, and there's plenty of opportunity because we lose 3 seniors so next year, so they got to get better and earn their keep, and that's what everybody's got to do.
Before I let you go, Chris, what do you say to the people, to myself, that say you have a lot, even more than last year, but not enough to win it again? I got Newman. I'm sorry. It's early. It's early, Chris. You my guy. You my guy. What do you say? What do you say to the media, whoever's saying that you have even more than last year, but don't think you could do it back?
Look,
is that motivation, or are you already self-motivated?
I think we're self-motivated. I mean, if you're not self-motivated, if you're a coach in our league and your goal is not to win the Catholic League and you're not motivated to be in the Catholic League, it's going to be.
It's only 4 y'all got a shot, Chris.
I know. We hear you guys all the time. Trust me, we love it. We love to hear the motivation from the outside noise that's out there, but we always talk about what our expectations are and what our goals are in our 4 walls of the gym, and the 25 guys and coaches in our program. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what your parents' goals and expectations are. It doesn't matter what they're saying. It matters about the guys in that room. And ultimately, that's what it's going to be. And we heard y'all last year too. Again, a lot of people doubted us after we lost a couple games, right? And from there, so it's got to be about the guys in our room. We love everything that you guys do for the city and the basketball community and all of that, but you have to as mature team, right? You have to be able to take that, and yes, you do have to use that as some motivation from there. But look, I think we know our league's great. It's a challenge every single year to win our league, and for Roman and Newman to be as successful as they've been for so long, right? They're always in that contention, and that's where we want to get to. We want to get to that level where we have a chance every single year, and if we can get there, we lay the chips on the table, and whatever happens down the cluster happens. But our goal is to win the championship, and I'm not saying we're the favorite. I'm not saying anybody else is the favorite.
Y'all gonna be right there, Chris. You got the best wings in the city over Popeyes, KFC. You got the player.
But listen, there's a lot of talented teams in our league.
And you got Rocco Westfield. You got the best shooters in the city. Y'all gonna be there.
Look, there's a lot of talent, in our league, and it's challenging, right? The depth in our league is what makes our league so special. From there, and then after that, you go into 6A, and you got great teams in 6A, and the PCL hasn't been super successful in 6A. We won some championships, but we've lost a heck of a lot of championships too, right? So there's a lot of quality teams throughout the states at that league, and right after the PCL, you most likely get Emotep, right?
You
So
definitely get Imhotep. I'm sorry, bub. You get Imhotep. 6A
um,
bub, 6A state carefully get Imhotep. Yes.
but yeah, I mean, and then if you win the league and you're a 6A team, you most likely get them again like we did last year. And I think last year on the show, I think if we got a chance to play 3 times, it would be a really successful year for both of us. And that's what happened. And they were 3 great games. So, from there, but we worry about us. We can't worry about what everybody else says. We know we have to get better. Anybody that's been in our gym, between college coaches and media people, we're working to get better. We're not happy with where we're at right now, and we got a lot of work to do, right, to be able to do that. And it's going to be a challenge for us, but hopefully our guys are up to the challenge, and we're excited for it this year.
Chris, man, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you for being on air with Rare, man. You supporter of what we do. We appreciate you, and I'm gonna be at the Judge game. And if I don't catch any other games, I'm gonna be at the Palestra Final Four. I'm gonna see you there, Chris. Chris, I appreciate you for taking some time out to be on air with Rare.
Thanks, Ray. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Chris.
See you.
That was Father Judge, head coach Chris Roantree. Shout out to Chris and the people up in the Northeast. Shout out to them. They're going to be at the Palestra. Thank y'all for being on air with Rare. Shout out to John Allen from Coatesville and Chris Roantree and Father Judge. 2 championship hopeful teams. And I'm excited for the season. Make sure y'all continue to follow us on YouTube at Rare Footage Sports. A lot of lives will be on YouTube. Shout out to Rare Footage Sports and shout out to y'all for kicking it with us.